What's going on, guys? It's Jack here, taking a look at another game breakdown here. This time looking at John Collins, the forward from Wake Forest. He is a guy who, in my opinion, has been looked over in this draft class because of the depth of the class as well as the talented freshmen at the forefront. But I think Collins has some of the same potential, the same ceiling that some of these other players have in this class, and is therefore deserving of a potential lottery pick this coming draft. Now, Collins, to me, is a player who, is a bit of a tweener. He could be a 4, he could be a 5. And I think 10 years ago, if he's in this draft class, or in the draft rather, you're looking at him as a power forward and a guy who's surefire top 10 pick because of his offensive firepower. This past season, he averaged 19 points a game, shot 62% from the floor. He didn't shoot any threes, but he dominated in the interior. He has a nice shooting touch as well, and is a player who showcased a diverse offensive skill set. He's got jump hooks, turnaround jumpers in the low post as well, and it's just a beast on the offensive end of the court, and really takes advantage of his matchup. He's either too quick for the bigger guys or too strong for the smaller guys, and is just able to be an offensive dynamo, a hub on that end of the court. Defensively, he still has some work to do, but he did average, just over 1.5 blocks a game this past season, and is a player who I think could end up becoming a contributor, a difference maker on that end of the court if he's able to commit more effort, more consistency on that end. Now, why is Collins, not the forefront here? Well, for one, I think part of it is he played at Wake Forest, right? I think guys who go to bigger schools, and this has been proven, they just have more visibility, and teams watch them more. And to me, I think for a lot of players, for some players it ends up hurting them, but for more players than less, I think it helps them when you go to a bigger school and are just able to be seen more often, as well as, you get a greater sense of competition at that school. And at Wake Forest, he was a little bit under the radar, and his freshman season was, he showed a lot of potential, but this past season really, he put it all together, and was a player who, he also rebounded really well. I want to mention that as well. 10 rebounds a game, and contributed both on the offensive boards and defensive glass. He really boxes out well and uses his footwork well, and you'll see that in the offensive end in this game. He really knows how to pivot and really takes advantage of his matchup against Elijah Thomas, and was able to take advantage of his weaknesses in terms of his speed, quickness on the defensive end of the court. Offensively, Elijah Thomas, the transfer from Texas A&M, isn't a great offensive player, and just too often he took advantage of John Collins' weakness on that end of the court, and Collins just committed far too many fouls to be effective on that end of the court throughout the season, and it caused him to kind of tone down his offensive aggressiveness, and really it's going to be a need that he needs to improve at the next level if he's going to have any bit of consistency. Now, in terms of his explosiveness near the rim, it's good, but it's much better when he has space. He does fight, though, for offensive rebounds, and he has a good motor in terms of that. And in the pick and roll, he's very effective in terms of rolling to the basket and getting there and just being creating a nice target for his point guard or whoever it is to have a nice entry pass window to get the ball to him. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned yet, and it's one of the reasons I'm excited about Collins, is he, despite the fact he didn't shoot three-pointers in college, he has a nice shooting touch, and that showed at the NBA Combine. 14 of 25 from 3 at the Combine, which gives me great confidence that he's going to be able to develop his stretch 4 game at the next level. And if he's able to do that, then that 4 position becomes much more viable at the next level, and he becomes even more of a mismatch at the offensive end of the court. And as a guy with quick enough feet, I don't think he's going to become a liability by any means at the defensive end of the court. And so therefore, you could have a very stout front line with Collins and whoever is your center. And, you know, he has the ability to play a quote-unquote small ball 5 at 6'10", 6'9" or so, 6'11" wingspan, and 230. He's got a great motor and runs the floor really well. And so therefore, to me, this guy, you just can't pass him up if you're picking after the top 10 in this draft and you need a big man who can do a lot of things on the offensive end of the court, but also is going to develop even further on the defensive end of the court and become a player who I think is going to be a good to great NBA starter for many years to come. But guys, let me know what you think about John Collins. Do you think I am overrating his potential here, and do you see him struggling at the next level, or are you with me and you're wondering why no one's been talking about this player from Wake Forest? Please like this video if you enjoyed it, or give me your comments below. Your feedback is always appreciated. What other prospects, what other types of NBA draft videos do you want to see? If this is the first time listening to Talking Ball, please hit that subscribe button. We cover both the NFL and NBA drafts in great detail, and we want to hear from you and really just grow this channel into becoming one of the premier draft channels on YouTube. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm out.